Hello, we're going to look at today's freebie. I've actually stitched it out 4 times on darker fabrics with darker colours. This was a challenge that was given me, and this is the first one. It's been stitched out on black silk dupion. This is a slubby silk dupion, and you will find slubby silk dupions are far more forgiving than the satin ones, the shining, smooth ones, as you'll see later on. So the 2 leaves were stitched out in these 2 golds. Then I did all the detail work in this metallic gold. I continued to use my Schmetz 80 top stitch needle, but I did slow it down for the gold work. And that looks quite good. I'm quite pleased with that look, but obviously the gold really stands out against the black dupion. Now this stitch out was done on a smooth silk dupion, and I had a lot of problems with this one, I must confess. These 2 blues really stand out against the grey, and I was pleased with that because the contrast between them is quite subtle. I used this one here, this dark grey here, for the vein work, and then I used this sulky metallic, and I didn't get on very well with that, I confess. It stopped a couple of times because the thread broke, and in the end I finished it off using the slowest speed on my machine. The reason for this is that these little branches here are quite dense for a metallic thread, and it doesn't even shine very much, does it really? So probably a lighter grey than this one would have worked just as well. This is a classic example I want to show you about smooth silk. You can see where my outline alignment stitches were down here where they are very close to this leaf. It's really damaged the silk. Sometimes you can, with a little bit of rubbing, get rid of them, but certainly not on this one. So that was a disappointment. The colours, yeah, the colours overall are fine, but I just didn't like the results. This particular stitch out turned out very differently from what I'd intended to do. I started off with this one here for this leaf, and I'm used to using this on a lighter fabric, and it really stood out, and I was a bit concerned it was too pink. Then I put that grey here, that toned it down a little bit, and then I found this. Now this is a sulky metallic again, like the other one. This behaved a lot better, but then as you can see I only used it for the veins and it was perfect. Once it had done all the leaf surrounds and the stems with this dark grey here, I felt it all blended in quite nicely. This was my final stitch out. I went back to the black slubby silk dupion again for this one, and I used these 2 greens for the leaves. Now when you look at those 2 greens, they look very dark, especially this one, but when you embroider them on black fabric, they lighten. That looks so much lighter there than it does on the roll. I used this green here for the leaf details, and then I used this very dark sort of black chestnutty colour for the surround, and I was going to use it for all of it, and then I decided no, I'm going to use my black. I've had this black since I started embroidering. I hardly ever use black, but it didn't misbehave. The only problem I did have, and you're probably thinking, Hazel, what have you done? You've got the wrong bobbin thread in. Because I had a white bobbin thread. Now theoretically the Epic 2 is meant to stitch out very well and have no show through, but when I started the black, this one here was done with a white bobbin thread, and then I stopped and I put a black bobbin thread in and finished it off with that. And out of all 4, I like this one the most. It's subtle. I like the fact that the black blends in nicely with the fabric. I did wonder whether it would work, but it does work very well. And I'm pleased with that. So out of the 4, this is my favourite. So here are our 4 stitch outs. Which one do you like the best? I certainly would say I prefer the 2 black ones. They're both lovely. I am not happy with the greys, but then I think part of the problem is the fact that it's smooth, silk dupion, and not slobby. This design has been very carefully created, regarded as a jigsaw piece, because it sits nicely below, above, and to the side of itself. And actually, it's even better if you stagger it. I don't think I can show you here, but if you put those 2 there, then the next one goes in here, and you can offset them and make yourself all over fabric, perhaps for a bodice or the front of a waistcoat or for a bag or lots of things. It is possible with the correct designs to be able to create your own all over fabrics. So just a little short video today, and I hope you find that useful. I really appreciate all the sweet comments you've been making about these videos. That's lovely. I'm glad you're enjoying them and finding them challenging. And I thank you, Judith, for the challenge that you gave me to do these stitch outs or to do something a little bit different. I'm not sure whether I've done what you had in mind. If you've not subscribed to the channel, please do that today. I'd be very grateful. And go to Graceful Embroidery. If you're not a member, then you click on the forum tab and join us today so that you can start downloading the freebie designs. And they're available till the 9th of October. This is number 15, and there's going to be over 40 of them altogether, so you've got plenty of time to join. Just make sure that you have an account before you do that, because it is your account that's given access to these freebies. So thank you for watching, and until next time, happy embroidering.